What's better, dating apps or learning to approach women in person? The answer is absolutely both. Now, 60 to 70% of my clients find their girlfriend or wife through dating apps. Fine, fair enough. But I also always say you can't just hide behind a screen and swipe the right woman into existence. Well, in one way you can, but you're not going to be able to keep her around. It takes an unusually high level of communication skills to be able to create and sustain attraction, which you will in part learn through doing approaches either during the day or in bars at night. Now, you don't have to go to nightclubs. Nightclubs really aren't necessary because 8 out of 10 people you're going to meet there probably aren't right for you. But I don't think you can fully call yourself a man until you have developed the skill set of initiating a conversation with your potential future wife out of nothingness. If you can't even do that, how on earth are you going to be able to teach your son someday? I think it's extremely important that, yes, you learn dating apps. Yes, Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, the 4 types of photos, professional photography, lifestyle, social proof, status, texting, bio, all the good stuff. You have to start conversations with women. You will not, under any circumstance, be able to freely express yourself around a woman if you can't even make the date happen without it coming from a dating app. If you can only be really good in your communication with women, if you can only feel confident if it comes through a dating app, I guarantee you're not truly confident, because there are things you haven't learned about the minute interactions with women, about getting rejected, about reading body language, about passing congruence tests, about understanding micro expressions, about teasing, about flirting, that only come from approaching. Now, you don't have to go on hundreds of dates. That's not what I'm talking about. But it is basically how we as human beings have procreated for ever. For hundreds of thousands of years. Your great-great-grandfather approached your great-great-grandmother. It is the most normal thing in the world. And most men BS themselves. Most men say, I could if I really wanted to. Really go and do it. Most men think they're good at fighting and they think they're good at talking to women. I guarantee you, most of them aren't. If you're not approaching, you can't. You think you could, but if you're not doing it, you haven't overcome your limiting beliefs, your approach anxiety. You have not developed the skill set. So, how can you go about doing that? Well, you can start conversations during the day or at night, really with excuse me 2 seconds, you're really cute, had to come and say hi. I probably would have regretted it for like 2 minutes if I didn't come and speak with you. You look like an accountant. And then you start the conversation from there. You make assumptions. I bet you're this. I think you're this. You look like this. Playful, respectful at all times, but fun and lighthearted, and not falling into this question asking interview type of mode, because it's one of the things that bores women to death the most. Women get extremely bored when you just ask one question after another. This is not a job interview for her. She doesn't owe you any answers, especially if you just started the conversation out of nothingness. She doesn't even know who you are. Imagine a homeless person walks up to you and goes, excuse me, what's your name? Chris. And what do you do for work? Okay. And what are you doing here? Are you? Why should I be telling you these things? This person, this lady, has zero responsibility to tell you anything. She doesn't owe you anything. That's why you have to assume the burden of the conversation in the beginning. You have to make assumptions, storytell, overshare without being asked to. If you do these things, the probability that you're going to be able to find a hook point, the point at which she starts emotionally investing herself into the conversation, is a lot higher. You want to open up different conversational threads, the first one, the next one, the next one, so she can latch onto something, so you can create emotional relevance. It is truly an unbelievable skill set. Sorry, there's a bunch of insects here in the south of France. I'm trying hard not to get eaten. It is truly a empowering skill set. People always say, I need to work on myself first. The best way to work on yourself is to go and approach in person. It is so much fun because it's something that you have avoided at all costs. It's something that you've been avoiding. Most men, they will do anything just not to say hi, just not to introduce themselves. Do it. Start conversations with women in a Starbucks. Start talking to women in the gym. Now, when you're in the gym, Talk to men, talk to women, talk to men, talk to women. Don't just be the one creepy dude who starts hitting only on the attractive women. In the gym, here's the gym strategy, one more time reiterated. You ask her, excuse me 2 seconds, would you mind taking a quick video for my Instagram story? She says, yes, cool. Then you start the conversation, you exchange Instagram, and then in private, in the DMs, you can ask her out for a smoothie or alcohol-free drinks or whatever it is. Now, the next time you do that, you have to do it with a guy. If you want to avoid getting a bad reputation, you're going to have some reputation. Everybody has a reputation. If you want to avoid getting a bad reputation as the guy who only hits on all the women, who is a taker, so to speak, then the next time you just ask a dude. You ask a girl, you ask a dude. You ask a girl, you ask a dude, and you just start talking to more people in general. If you say, hey, David, I don't want to talk to anybody in the gym, completely understand. Then don't approach in the gym. But start conversations with people. Get into social flow. We talked about that in one of the last videos. Openness. Put yourself out there. For example, there's a yacht show. What is it called, babe? Cannes? Yacht Festival in Cannes? It's a yacht festival, right? International Yacht Festival in Cannes. We're in the south of France here. That's where Fernanda and I were going to go tomorrow. And we're going to go and talk to people. And we're going to go and have a great time. Now, when you do start conversations during the day or at night, it's extremely important that you go in there with zero expectation. You want to have a clear intent on where you want to move the conversation eventually. But at the same time, if you put the pressure of having to get a certain outcome out of it, the probability that you're going to come across in a weird way is a lot higher. You want to roll in there with just fun, lightheartedness, positivity. Fun, lightheartedness, positivity. If that is your intent, the probability that people are going to want to talk to you because you're not trying to get anything from them immediately is a lot higher. Offer value on the front end. Offering value on the front end in social interactions is a compliment. Positive interactions. In a general social context with other men, it's asking them questions. How do you get other men to like you? Well, ask them questions. Let them talk. Because if people talk, they'll start liking you. Now, that's one of the big differences between general social skills and dating. In general social skills, you can just ask a lot of questions. The more interest you show, the more you're in that interview mode without making it weird and strange, just being curious, the more people will like you. With women, that doesn't work. They're going to get bored. That's exactly what most men do. And then magazines tell you, just ask her these 4 questions and she'll fall in love with you. Complete nonsense. Yeah, certain questions are extremely powerful, but oversharing, storytelling, that is really the key. So imagine if I were to say, imagine a bubble of light. It's pure, positive, loving, life-enhancing energy. What color would you see? That color. Whatever came to mind first. And then you see yourself radiating that energy out. Whoom! Metaphorically speaking. That's what you want to do. Whoom! You just push it out. And obviously there's a technical element to it. But at a mindset level, you just want to have positive energy, whoom, put it out. Positive energy, put it out. And then you need to put yourself into flow. Because you have to understand that the first woman you're going to speak to in the day, the first approach will never be as good as the approaches that follow after, because micro flow, micro momentum is very real. Putting yourself into state, putting yourself into flow is unbelievable. It is the thing you should be chasing the most. Chase the flow. Chase the experience of letting the words just flow out. And then the rest is going to naturally follow. Now, people always say, it's just how you say it. What you say doesn't matter. No. It's how you say and what you say. The right words. Absolutely. There's a technical skill set that you need to learn when it comes to storytelling and building attraction. But flow will make it so much easier for you to access dormant resources within you. It's called state-dependent memory. If you're in the right state, you're going to be able to access resources, thoughts, ideas. You're going to be able to make new distinctions and observations in the moment that will help you present your words in the most compelling and concise manner that will get her excited about you. So flow is extremely important. That's why you have to talk to a lot of people. You can't just be in your head 7 hours a day and then expect the first interaction to be amazing. Gotta get out there. And by the way, if you do go to bars, don't drink. Don't do other stuff. Do you want a woman who gets drunk every single weekend? No, you're going to attract what you project. So by reducing alcohol, the probability will go up tremendously that you'll end up with somebody who doesn't feel the need to drink either. When I met Fernanda, she was in a pub with her sister. You had like half a pint with Vanessa or something? Sharing one, right? And probably it was really only because Vanessa was in town, right? You didn't drink a lot then. Not nothing, but like, how much did you drink before? Like if you were to put a number on it, like a year. Like Fernanda was only in Dublin for 5 months before I scooped her off the market. But how much would you say?
More than now.
More than now, exactly. 5 to 10 times in what?
Year.
A year. So in the 5 months before I met you when you arrived in Dublin, you drank on 5 to 10 occasions.
Yeah, maybe yeah.
Okay. Yeah. On 5 to 10 days per month. That's 1 to 2 days per month. And now, this year, we're in September now. How many days? You had 1 day. 1 or 2? 1 or 2 this year, right? Because it's not like I'm telling her that she can't drink, but because I don't drink, she drinks less. She has the freedom to do so. But I consciously chose somebody who doesn't feel the need to get drunk, who doesn't feel the need to go to nightclubs or some nonsense. Why would you go to nightclubs, right? We all know what people go to nightclubs for, right? So by you projecting a certain standard, the probability that you're going to attract somebody who has the same values, who has the same standard, or at least a very similar standard for themselves, is a lot higher. So my invitation is extremely clear. Put yourself out there. Master the skill set. It will infuse your life with a degree of excitement that you haven't previously experienced, maybe never. I posted a screenshot on my Instagram the other day of a client saying, I didn't even know what it fully meant to feel alive. That's partially related to him going to the sauna, but also doing approaches. Just talking to people. Talking to people. That is what it is. We are meant to connect to other human beings. Joanne Hari wrote a book called Lost Connections, where he talks about the fact that most of the suffering that we experience as human beings comes down to a lack of quality social contact. That's why I talk about high quality male friends. You don't have enough quality male friends locally who want to see you win. If you had 1 or 2 more amazing male friends, which you can easily find, by the way, locally, then your life quality would be so much better. Who wants to see you win? That's the question. Not just who can you talk to when things are going bad, but who is happy for you when you're winning. Those are the types of people you need to have in your life. And you cultivate that by offering yourself. You got to offer yourself to the world first. Look, you've by now realized that money alone won't make you happy. We have certain psychological needs like the one for love and connection, met primarily in 2 ways. An amazing woman by your side, quality male friends. Both is something that you will get as a result of engaging with the world. How do you want to show up in this world as a man? It's up to you. Well, the first thing is that you show up in this world as a man. Because if you just go from your office or home office to the gym, and then if you go through the same routine all the time, then the probability that you're going to find somebody that you haven't found before is very low. Put yourself in new places, do new things if you want new results. That's my invitation for you today. Apply for a free initial consultation if you want our help with that personally. Go crush it.